Very few people consider the long African hair as smart. The moment it starts to grow, it is considered as ugly, shaggy, unkempt, and unmanageable. But can somebody tell me what is the problem with this hair? This is the natural state of the African hair, and we should love it, like it, and embrace it just the way it is, because this is our hair. Hi everyone. There is a school rule in literally all the Kenyan schools, and by extension all the African schools, in regard to the length, the color, and the style of the students' hair. In most, if not all the schools, the rule is simple, that the boys should shave their heads to keep their hair short. Some teachers insist that the heads should be so clean shaven, such that there is no difference between the head and the face. In this video, you'll allow me to talk about the boys and maybe find some other time to talk about the girls, because for the girls' case, it's a little bit complicated. Some girls have died in the past because of being beaten up by the teachers, and the most recent case is a girl hanging herself because of being told to shave her hair. Now, like I promised in this video, let us interrogate this issue more deeply and see whether it has got any merits. When teachers implement this rule, they do it for a number of reasons: enforcing discipline, short hair is smart, helping to keep the boys clean, saving the boys time that they would have used to clean their heads, for uniformity, perhaps among others. Let us examine all these one by one. Can someone kindly tell me what is discipline in short hair and what is indisciplined in long hair? Convince me like a person who has just landed from Mars that a boy with long hair is an indisciplined boy, whereas the boy with short hair is a disciplined boy. Of course, the most common argument here would be that it is a school rule. But why should we have such a school rule whose main purpose is to create a conflict between the teachers and the students? Allow me to stop there on that school rule, because I shall have another video exclusively talking about the school rules that we have in our schools. Reason number 2 is that short hair is smart. I should be saying smarter, but very few people consider the long African hair as smart. The moment it starts to grow, it is considered as ugly, shaggy, unkempt, and unmanageable. But can somebody tell me what is the problem with this hair? This is the natural state of the African hair, and this hair is extremely admirable. Look at its length. Look at the way it is coiling. I really admire this kind of long afro hair. This is the natural state of the African hair, and we should love it, like it, and embrace it just the way it is, because this is our hair. But the reason we don't do this is nothing more than the conditioning that has happened over the years, that has made us hate our own hair, among other things. It is Dr. Mutuku wa Muneeni who captured it so well in his article in the Daily Nation, by stating that all these things are a fallacy fed to the colonized with a view to effecting their own subjugation, anchored in self-hatred and lack of self-esteem. Underline the words self-hatred. Whenever I ask someone, even colleague teachers, why the African boys, and by extension even the African men, cannot be allowed to keep the long hair, just like the white and the Asian counterparts, the answer is always simple. That the whites and the Asian long hair looks good, but the African's long hair looks ugly and bad. This is what we call self-hatred, and it mostly happens subconsciously because of the conditioning that has happened over the years. There are several other areas that exhibit this kind of self-hatred, and I shall be talking about them in the near future. When some Ugandan female students protested their school's no hair policies because they only applied to black students, the teacher had this to say: "We let other races grow their hair because it's in their culture not to cut off their hair, and we respect that." What this teacher did not seem to understand is that the issue of forcing black students to shave their hair is based on colonialism. In pre-colonial times, Christian missionaries demanded that girls who attended their mission schools cut their hair to their scalp, as they believed that black hair was unsightly ungodly, and untamable. By insisting that our boys and girls should cut off their hair, we are simply propagating this colonial legacy. The third reason that is given is to keep the boys clean and avoid their hair from harboring lice. But whereas this could have been true in the years gone, this has now been overtaken by events because people's hygiene has improved and improved over the years. As development such as electricity, among other things, reach even the most interior areas. In any case, the cause of head lice infestations is not related to cleanliness. Neither hair length nor how often the hair is brushed affects the risk of infection. Additionally, the UK's National Health Service report that lice has no preference for any type of hair, be it clean, dirty or short. The fourth issue of saving the time it would take to wash and perhaps comb the hair is, according to me, a non-issue. How many minutes does a clean-shaven boy save because of a quick wash and no combing required? Barely 2 minutes. The fifth issue is about uniformity. And some people argue that having all the boys clean-shaven and looking similar would prevent the school from being a fashion ground. Now, at this time is where I agree with the discoolers. People who say that the schools are not so good in our society. They argue that institutionalized schooling is used as a tool for engineering of an ignorant, conformist working class through constant schedules and prearranged time blocks and one-size-fits-all teaching methods. In other words, what schools do is that they produce individuals who think, behave, act, and reason the same way. Any deviation from this non-conditioned, unidirectional kind of thinking makes one to be labeled as a defiant, deviant, and cultured individual. Although I wouldn't argue against all forms of uniformity, such as the need to have uniforms for now, I would actively advocate for the need to encourage some diversity within the system. One of the easiest ones to implement is allowing the students to have different hairstyles. In conclusion, I'm urging that we allow the African boy's hair to prosper. Let us allow it to grow. Let us embrace it. Let us allow it to flourish. And let us love it the way it is. It is what God gave unto us for those who believe in God. And by so doing, this is going to raise the self-esteem of the black child. In fact, I am not the only one who is thinking this way. There is a 2019 petition to the Ministry of Education entitled, "Let Kenyan Students Keep Their Hair." I have left its link in the description and comments below, just in case someone wants to sign it. Thank you so much. I'm out.